friends, welcome back again. So happy you popped over again to see what I am up to today. For everyone who is new here, welcome. My name is Janny and I hope you enjoy what you see. And if you do, I hope you take a little bit of inspiration with you. For everyone here who is not subscribed to my channel, of course, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and of course, hit the bell so you will be notified every time I upload new DIYs. Like I always say, enough talking and let's jump into today's inspiration. And you see already on the table are the things we need for this DIY, and we are going to need some tumbling towel blocks. I always say, because I never know how many I use, just have 4 until 5 packages laying around and you can make any DIY. So we use the smaller blocks. I have here 2 old vegetable jars. I use, of course, I'm going to clean them up and I'm going to make them the etiquette of the tag, how you call it. I'm going to place it off and I'm removing the lid. So I need 2 of them. I tell you in a moment how wide they are for the measurement. Of course, I have here my little container with everything inside I need. Brushes, markers, some twine, some mud pots, and of course the wood glue. You can use some hot glue, but always be careful that it doesn't break. I use a little bit of a wood filler, but you also can do it later with a little bit of hot glue, making a kind of texture on top of it. I am going to use some paint. I have here my saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel which is wet. These are the main things we need for this DIY. We are going to make a little bit kind of a snowy, Christmassy, seasonal, yeah, it's not really a lantern, how you call it, at least a jar with light. So we will see how this will turn out. So you see already the first step I did remove the tags from my jars, and I am really happy. It did go very well in some a little bit of warm water, and I just let it sit in for a couple of minutes, and then the tags easily fell off. So of the etiquette, here we call it etiketten. So I'm going to place them over here. What we're going to do, we're going to get 5 blocks. We are going to do again 5 blocks and do another 5 blocks. And the last, because we are going to make 2, I'm going to try to make a kind of a little bit of the old farm lanterns. I don't know if I will succeed or not, we will see. And we are going to get the longer side, we're going to glue the first one and we place the second one against it. And number 3 and number 4 and number 5 is the closure up. We do here the same. And 2 pieces is for one of the bottom of the lanterns. Of course, later there also will be a top. And we're going to, and of course an underside, he has to need a standard where he can stand on. But that's later. Now we're going to build it up slowly. And we're going to do this one and the second, number 3 and number 4. And number 5 is the closure up. We're going to squeeze it and press it together. I think a lot of you already can dream it, what I'm saying. Squeeze and press. I hear already a lot of friends are already dreaming in their dream. And you see already he wants to pop out, but that's not what we're going to do. We're going to squeeze it and make a straight line. And we do here the same. And we're going to get our towel and we're going to wipe away the glue. And here over here and this one. And this one. And then again, always after wiping, just look if everything is still in a straight line, and we're going to give it a couple of minutes drying. So now we have our 4 pieces of 5. We're going to place them in the direction to each other, and we're going to do some glue on the top side. Make sure that you have every block some glue, and we're going to place it together. And we're going to fill in the open gaps, I always say. And then this way you don't need a lot of speckle or maybe some wood filler to fill up the open gaps, because at least my blocks are never the same size. They are always a little bit of size. You don't understand it. You would say if you make it, or if you have a computer which are cutting all the blocks, you would say they must be always the same measurement, but they are not, at least not my blocks. and I'm going to let this dry for a little moment. So I place my two little bottoms on the side. Now I have 16 loose blocks over here, but we're going to connect them. We do some glue on the top and we place them together. We do here some glue on the top, place them together. It's very easy to do, so we make just two longer blocks for the rounding around of the corner, around of the border, how you call it, around our bottom. This is already number 5, number 6, because we need 4 for each bottom, and this one, and the last, and this one. Then we're going to squeeze it and squeeze this one and make sure that you have it in the straight line, because or else your sides will be crooked and that's not what you want. And also here, give it some pressure over here and then wipe away the glue, and always check it again if everything is still on the place where you want to have it. You see where this one is a little offline, so this way. And now I'm going to let this dry for a couple of minutes. So we have now 4 on this side, 4 on this side. We're going to get our bottoms over here, and it's very easy to do. What you can do easy is just go around your square. It is almost a square, and we do this side and we do the other side, and we're going to place it down. And now we're going to place this one over here, we're going to place this one over here, and this one. And of course you can do a little bit on the corners, so a little over here and a little over here, and then place it. It's not an exact fit, it is almost fitting, but the blocks have the size, and it's really not too much to that you get your jigsaw and just saw it out, because that's would be so a little piece you need. So just work with it, I always say, and at the end it will look very nice. I used it also this kind of a bottom for my lamps on my other channel, so it will work. If it's painted or spray painted, it will work at the end. So give it some pressure on the underside. Be sure that you don't press it on the top, because or else it will fall apart. So this way, this is already 1. You do again the bottom of number 2. Very easy, just do some glue. And over here on all blocks and on this one. And now the last side, and we're going to place it down again. We place this one over here, we place this one over here, and we do a little glue on this side and on this side, and we're going to place it over here, and we do here the same, a little bit of glue, and we're going to make sure that we have everything in a nice line. Of course we're going to press it on the underside and on this side, and then we're going to give it some drying time, and that will be now, I think for everything will be 20 minutes. Then it's not totally dry, you have to still be a little bit careful, but then it dries already in. So I'm going to go now further with the sides. You see already now I have 24 loose blocks on my table. We're going to make sets of 3. So you need 12 blocks for one side. This will be one side, this will, and this, and this. And this is for the second one. This is totally 24 blocks. We're going to connect them in pieces of 3. So again, this is 1 and this is number 2. Place them against each other, so the glue is not running out too much. And this is already, place them together. And then you already have 4 pieces for the side. This one will be over here, and this one, and the last of the first farm lantern. And this is 1, and this is 2, and this is so easy to do. But of course I use blocks for this, but you could also use maybe some beads. If you like a row of beads, they give it a little bit more of texture. But everyone can do it the way I show it, this way, but like I always tell you, just change it up any way you like at your own taste, because thankful not everyone has the same taste. So everyone has unique pieces they make, and that's always the greatest about DIYing. And if you want to show me a DIY you made, please just send an email. I would love to see it. You can do it on this channel all about Christmas, but you also can do it on our other channel, Decor, because we love to see what you make. A lot of friends already do, and I'm so happy with that. So if you have something you want to show us and you made it, and it doesn't have to be our DIYs, just show us what you made. It's always so nice to see what everyone makes, because everyone make unique pieces. So again, we're going to give this I think a half-hour rest. So in the meantime, I place them on the side very carefully. They are dry now, 4 here, 4 there. I'm going to place 5 blocks, 5 blocks, 5 blocks and 5 blocks, and we're going to make the same one like we did with the bottom. We're going to make the top, because he needs to have a lid on top. At least mine. You don't have to do it. If you think it's a little bit too much of your blocks, then just don't do it. You don't have to. You can leave it open. But I'm also going to show you how it is looking like with a lid on. So again, this is also 5. Now we're going to do the other 5. And I'm going to place it against each other. My glue is running so fast, and I only have a kind of a little small opening, but he's still running very fast. And I'm going to squeeze it, and this way, to make sure that everything is fitting nicely. And again, I make a straight line. I'm going to press it, and then we have the same as we have on the bottom. So again, going to give it also a couple of minutes rest. So I gave it a couple of minutes again. I place one on the side. I'm going to do the tops with some glue. Place it down. And we're going to squeeze them and press them together again until one piece. We do here the same, also on the side. And this way, and we're going to place it down, and we're going to place this one against each other. And very easy, make one big piece out of it. Again, I'm wiping away the glue, and if you are later are going to spray paint it or you do it some wax, always sand your piece first, because or else you will be very sad, because then you see a lot of spots from your glue if you use wood glue, because that's not what you want. Then you get a really bad side, and then you did everything for nothing. So always sand it first, then spray paint it or wax it. So now our tops are drying, but also on the tops I want to do a border around it. So we do again 16 blocks on the table. We do some glue on the top, place it together, and we do it over here. We need 4 for each lantern, and this is for the second one. And very easy, and I do it a little faster, and the rest I do out of camera, because you already know how to squeeze and press. So I'm going to do this out of camera. So now we're going to get one of the pieces again, and this one, and what we're going to do, we do the same like we did with the bottom. Very easy, just do some glue around it, and over here, and this way, and the other side, and then we're going to place it down. We do one over here, we place one over here, we do some glue on the sides and on this side, and place it against each other. We do here the same, and here, and place it also over here. And then we're going to give it a little bit of pressure on all sides. And this way, this already one. And now I'm going to do this one, and I do everything with you because I hope you are going to make this one also, because I'm really happy how this one already is looking. Sometimes I really have no idea where it's going, but with this one I am already liking the way, because I am fan of lights, but If you don't like candles or that kind of thing, then I understand that this is not your favorite, but I'm a really a light person. So over here, I'm going to place this one against here, squeeze it, and I'm going to give it at least a half hour drying time. Before I forget to tell you, always when you are gluing, get your small brush and make sure that you have, if you have some glue in the corners or somewhere else, always wipe it away with your brush, because you don't want to have thick layers of glue on the sides when you're going to paint it or sand it. You don't like that, so always work it away, and every time make it wet and then go around it, then it's easier to get it off. So, and then we're going to let it really dry. So if everything is correctly, you have 4 pieces of this one. I showed you a little bit closer. And if everything is correctly, you have 8 pieces of 3 glued together. I have 4 here and I have 4 here. What I'm going to do is very easy. I'm just going to get my glue. I'm going to do some on this side and a little bit on the side, and I'm going to place them in the corner over here and squeeze it. I do here the same, a little under and a little on the side, and I'm going to squeeze it in this corner. I'm going to do here the same on the underside and a little bit on this side, and I'm going to place this one this corner, and make sure that you have them the way I have them. So you have the blocks, the under blocks of the bottom you have in this size, and you're going to place your block, your pole of your side, not this way inside, but you place it this way inside with the smaller side, or else your jar is not fitting in. I tell you in a moment the size of the jar I used, because that's important, or else you don't get it in anymore. And we place this one in this corner. So again, squeeze it, and we give it a little moment. And I'm going to do here the same. Just I have my blocks pointing this way, and I'm going to do some glue on this side, on the underside, and place it in the corner again. We do here the same on this side and over here. And of course you can do a little mix with wood glue and hot glue if you like that. It's totally fine. I do over here and I do a little and place it over here. And I do the last one. And we place this one in this corner. And I'm going to squeeze it and give it a little moment of rest. In the meantime, I'm going to place this one here. I'm going to get my jar, and my jar is on the top. He is 6 centimeters, or in inches it is 2.5, I think 2.4 in inches. And the length, I think that's the most important, that you have the length of the jar is in centimeters 10 centimeters, and in inches it is almost 4. So if you have this size, then it's great. Of course I can try to do it from this side to this side, then it's really, I have to look for the half, and then I go to the other half. In half he is 13 centimeters, or in inches almost 5. So if you are a little bit, and you just can measure it out which is fitting inside, you see already this one can easily come inside. So what I'm going to do, I gave this one also a little moment, and I'm going to do now some glue on the top, so it can also work already a little over here and over here. And what I'm going to do, because this one will be upside down, so not this side, but it will upside down, and also in each corner, and I'm going to do some glue very easy, just in the corners, because if I'm going to do it on this one, it will be wobbling. So I'm going to do so easy, just a little bit in the corners and on this corner and on this corner. So very easy. And now I'm going to turn it over so you get the flat side boven. I already speak Dutch. You get the flat side above. And now we're going to very carefully try to get everything inside. And it is a little bit of a task, but you will get it. And this one will be in, and this one will be in. And he is already going down. And now we're going to work with it and make sure that we have everything in each corner. And over here. And over here. And then we're going to give it some moment to dry. Of course, we give it a little bit of pressure, not too much. And we do here the same, but I will do this a little faster. So now I have here my lanterns or my frames drying, and I did on the top a paint can on top. I can show it to you because I think it's a little bit nicer that shows you. I have here my frame, and I always I always place a paint can on top of it to give it some pressure so everything dries very nicely. So I'm going to place this aside. Both of them are drying over here. But what we're going to do, I'm going to give it a standard. So I'm going to do for both of them, we're going to do the same 5 blocks. And we do here 3, 4, 5. And we do here the same. Because I was figuring out and looking for what I like for the underside. Of course, you don't have to do it. If you think, like I told you, it's too many blocks, even like with the top. You don't have to do it, of course. I just really like to give it always a standard. It gives a little bit more like a high-end look. But if you want to place it in a tray, then you can easily do it without. You see where I have some, I think it's a kind of a hair under it because it has curls, and my hair has curls, so I think it's one of mine which fell in my glue. And this is number 5. We're going to do this one, and this is the same like we already did. So for everyone, this is very easy, and I'm going to do it a little bit faster. Again, squeeze it, press it down, squeeze it, press it down, and here the same. And we give it a couple of minutes again. So we're going to turn them, both of them, to lay them on the side. Do some glue again. Over here, we do here the same. And we're going to place them down. So, and now we're going to make the same border around like we also did with the bottom and the top. So easy. And we place this aside. We just lay 2, 2, and 2. This is already for 1. This is already for number 2. And again, we could just only do the tops. But I'm going to do this a little faster. And also this one is some glue on the sides, on this side, on this side, and on the last side. Place it down, and we're going to place this one against here, this one over here. We do here the same, a little glue on the side, and just place it over here. We do here the same, and we're going to place this over here, and we have already the first bottom. Squeeze it, and now I'm going to do the second, but I do that out of camera. I place the 2 bottoms of our standard. I'm going to place on the side. I'm going to have 4 pieces of 2 here and 4 pieces of 2 here. We're going to glue the longest side, and these are the last blocks we need to glue for this DIY, at least for the blocks. We place this one, and then we are almost finished. Then we only need to do the jars. And the last and just going to squeeze it and make sure that they have a straight line because we are going to make a square out of it. And give it a couple of minutes. So now we're going to make an easy square. We just take one block, we do some glue on the side, we place this one against it, we do some glue on this side, and we place it over here. Now we get the last block. This is glue on this side and on the inside, and then you can easily place it in here, and then you have a nice square. And you're just going to give it a little bit of pressure on all sides and make sure that you have a straight line and that everything is standing straight, and then let it dry. So also this one, you're going to do some glue over here. You place this one against it. You do some glue on this one. And you place this over here. And now we do again on this side and on the inside. And we place it again easy in here, and we have a nice square. Give it some pressure, and we're going to give it a couple of minutes. So we have now our two bottoms also, and we're going to carefully glue, turn over and glue on the inside of the opening. So very easy, and we're just going to place it in the middle, and we're going to look for if we have it in a straight line, and also over here, and then give it a little bit of pressure. We do here the same, turn it over and do some glue on the inside of the opening, then there is less glue falling out, and place it also in the middle. You have to do it to this side a bit, and then give it some pressure, and we're going to let it dry in a couple of minutes, and then we're going to place our frames on top. So we gave both of them a couple of minutes. They are totally not dry yet, but we are going to place them already. We turn our frame upside down so they have the most nicest one over here. Always look from which size is the nicest to look. So I'm going to do some glue over here, also a little on the inside over here. And then we're going to make sure the blocks are going this way. Make sure that you also, your frame is, the blocks are also going this way. And then we're going to turn it over and place it in the middle. Of course, I'm going to turn around, look for where I need to have it. And this way, and then I'll find the middle. And if you have everything, then you give it some pressure over here and give it a couple of minutes drying, and then we're going to turn it over and place some paint can on top. But first we're going to let it dry in. We're going to do this one. We turn it over and we do some glue on the inside over here, and again the length of your blocks over here, and we're going to do the length also from this side. We're going to turn it over, make sure that we have it in the middle where we want to have it, and over here in the middle, and then give it some pressure, and we're going to let this dry also. I also like it already how it's looking like this way, so I don't know, maybe I keep it this way because I also love it how it's looking like this way, but we will see. So now I took a piece of paper and my pencil, and I'm going to try to make a kind of a little Christmas tree, just simple, not too difficult, because I'm not a great person who can draw very nice. So I'm just always going to do most of the time this way, a little bit sideways, and again a little up, and again I always make a little sketch. It's not really always the one I'm going to use, so a little bit this and this, and then we're going to cut it out, and I'm going to have here my stickers. These are just some tags. tags for placing on a jar, but I'm just going to use this. Don't look at the line around it. I'm just going to use the piece of paper because it is a sticker and I only need it to place it on top of the jar, and later I can remove it. So it's only for temporary. So I'm going to do a Christmas tree and I place it on here. I draw it over on here, and then I can easily cut it out and place it on my jar. I just want to show you how easy it is. Just a very simple Christmas tree, and just make the size, of course, which is fitting for on top of here. You can do a couple of them around here. You can do one. I only do a one, but you can do a more of, maybe I do two, one on each side of the jar. So I have my 4 trees, and I'm going to do a one on the front side and on the back side. And of course, I'm going to do it very easy because it is a sticker, so everything is correctly. I can easily peel it off, but I don't know if it works or not. But I take my time for it, and I'm going to glue them stick them on top of here. So now I have my Christmas tree on both sides on top of here. I have my 2 lids. I'm not going to sure if I'm going to use them, but I'm going to paint them so that if I want to use it, I can use it. So I'm going to paint this two, and of course our frames. And I do both sides, so I can use it this way, like this, and I can use it in this way. So we are going to paint everything, and I'm going to do it in the creamy color, but you can change any color you like. You can spray paint it, do whatever you think is right. The only thing is, which is important, if you use a sticker like I, make sure that each corner is sticking very nicely on top of here, or else the paint is going under it, and that's not what you want. I hope when I peel it off that of course there will be a Christmas tree, but we will see. So I use my creamy color for everything, but that's probably not everyone's cup of tea, but I'm loving it. So I'm going to dab a little to give it a little bit kind of a texture. So very easy, go over it on the lines, and I'm going to go over it, and I also do the bottom. So I painted the frames, I painted the jars, and of course the lid. And of course, what I'm going to try to do is carefully remove the sticker. I have no idea if this will go right or wrong because I never did this, so it can go right. Maybe if you already tried it, then you're probably further than I am, because I'm trying. And see, it comes off, but I hope that it comes off in totally and not in pieces. Until now he goes okay, but yes, I have him off. I'm really happy with it that I never tried it. So I thought it probably would stick and I never get it off, but now I have to get the second one off. And again. So this is also a nice way to make little figures on top of your jar. And so easy to make. And especially because I only made a simple Christmas tree. But you can go, if you want to use it for all seasons or for other seasons, you can just take another jar. You can do some for a fall leaf on top of here. You can for the 4th of July. You can do anything you like. And I'm really happy how this one is turned out. I'm going to do the second one, of course, and then you see in a moment, because we already also have our frames finished. We have this finished. You see in a moment how it turns out. And I know, yes, I know, I told you, you see in a moment the quick impression, and you do see the quick impression, but I totally forgot. I'm taking a little piece of the thinner twine, and I'm just going to do a couple of turns before I do my battery operated tea lights. And I have them battery operated on a timer, but the best thing is, of course, because you're going to turn the lid on, that you have one on remote control. I don't have it yet, so if you have one, use that one, because that's much better. So I'm going to do Simple, a couple of turns around and make a simple little bow on the front, the way you tie a shoe. So very simple and easy. And then you can do the lid on or you can leave it off. But you see in a moment a quick impression. And you see already a quick impression of my tumbling tile blocks, barn lights. And I did the frame this way, but you also can turn them over and put them on a standard. You see that in a moment. Of course, I hope you give this one also a try. Everyone who is new here, I hope you enjoy what you saw. And if you do, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give me a thumbs up and hit the bell so you will be notified every time I upload new DIYs. For everyone who is here already for a long time and only love to watch, I hope you had fun watching again. For more DIYs, come on over to my description box. There you find the link for our DIY channels. Hope to see you there. Have an amazing day. See you in the next one. Bye.